little bit crazy. Let's get a 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 little bit crazy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Je Vaughn Show. We are back for another wonderful season with more beautiful guests, wonderful guests, exciting guests, and we are excited to share their story with you and give you some hope and determination that you too can enjoy similar success along your journey through life. Today's guest, let me tell you, when you are a self-made multi-millionaire on the verge of being a billionaire, you can literally do and literally be anywhere you want to be for an interview, including the most beautiful vehicle that you will ever see in your life. So let's just go ahead and hop in her ride together, shall we, Miss?
Oh my God.
Oh, Ebony. Oh, how wonderful that car looks. How are you today?
God. I'm saying like I'm embarrassed already.
Do not be embarrassed whatsoever. We are striving to attain your level. I want you to know that I want to get to the point to where I can start doing interviews, like conducting interviews from either my bed or my car. That's my goal in life.
Not the bed.
Oh, yes, the bed. Like
not the bed.
That's my goals. Those are my goals. But I think that everybody who has heard the name Ebony O connects it with style, with excellence, with prosperity. How do you want people to connect your name when they hear it?
I think above all else, I really would like to be known as integral. Having so many different things going on and having so many different entities to Ebony O and what I'm attempting to bring to the table. A lot of things can go overlooked. A lot of things can go mishandled when you don't have the proper team in place, staffing, whatever have you. And so as I'm building just this event alone that is coming up that I'm sure you'll talk about later, I would say that I'm noticing little things. I'm being very intentional about paying attention to the loopholes and where I need to fine tune things so that the ball doesn't go drop in certain areas, whether it's pertaining to business or communication or whatever have you. Outside of all the other stuff that looks glamorous to the world, I think at this point in my life, I'm really, really focused on how to make sure that anytime somebody says my name, they also, right after that, speak of integrity, and that she's honest and that she's loyal. So hopefully I'm standing or I'm headed in the right direction.
I believe that you are. It has been such a pleasure getting all of this together and setting everything up. And you never know. There's when you're dealing with someone with high status, and we're just not going to even front about it. You are high status. There's a lot of things that can come up, and you don't have to do things like the Je Vaughn Show. But the fact that you would come on and bless me and bless our audience is integral. For those who don't know, because they've been under three rocks, can you please bring us in? Who is Ebony O?
Ebony O is, I'm a mother. And I say that first because that is priority for me outside of everything else. I am a wife of 18 years. This year, June, will be 19 years that I've been married to my husband. And I am a business mogul, I guess you could say. I am all things fun. I like to have a lot of fun. I'm very athletic. I am, I don't know, Ebony O. When I usually have to describe myself, I give myself the name Pippi Longstocking. I'm the girl that never heard she couldn't do something. Like if I think it, if I believe I can, look, I'm jumping all the way out there and I'm gonna try it. So I'm your modern day faith walker.
I want to know about this athletic ability though. So, like, were you running in the paint? Were you
Oh
softball? What
yeah,
was the sport?
yeah. So I played basketball in, of course, grade school, and then I played in high school. I
Mhm.
played in college, and I also coached varsity girls basketball at
Yeah.
Parkland High School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and then I coached a a junior college
Uh-huh.
as well. So yeah, I'm all things basketball, point guard and shooting guard.
What was your stat line like?
Man, so my I graduated from Southern High School in, well, I think, what, 2000.
Okay.
We were all stars. We were it. It was either it was we were gonna win or Hillside High School was gonna win. But
Okay.
I mean, stat wise, I was probably averaging 15 to 25 points a game, somewhere in there. Yeah, I'm a shooter. I'm a 3-point shooter. Still got it a little bit.
You had your
I'm
hand,
old now. Huh?
you had your handles too?
Oh yeah, I can do that all day long. I can still dribble. Now, how long is the question? I went and played ball with my husband the other morning, and I literally, my normal routine of, warming up, 3-point shot, dribble down to the free throw line, made the shot, went to my right, layup, went to my left, middle, finger roll in the basket, and I literally thought I was gonna die. I passed out right there. It was over. I said, "Oh no, some of that got to go. We got to cut some of that out."
Oh my goodness, this is so great to hear about. So you have kids, right?
I do. I have one biological child, and then I adopted my nephew last year when I lost my mom. She had been raising him, and so it's the two of them, two spoiled boys.
Are you raising ballers though? Is the question that I have.
My son has the athletic ability of myself and his father. Has the
Okay.
speed, I mean, he can think, all of those good things. And he even has a nice little jump shot. He is
Okay.
interested in nothing sports related right now. He's
Really?
11, he'll be 12 next month, and the only thing on his mind is dinosaurs.
Is what?
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
He is like king of dinosaurs. Yes, he is. I mean, I just don't know about this kid.
Wow. That is inspired. So if he was to get out of the dinosaur phase at some point, would you want him to go more towards athletics or towards business?
Business.
Towards the
I'm
business.
grooming him more for business. Um, he he's right now he's the heir to the C. Alexander Learning Academy that
Mhm.
my husband and I started in 2019, and so that is his school in Clayton County. That is licensed for 317 students.
One.
And when we first started that journey, we pulled him out of public school, and he remained out of public school until this year, um, in order to learn the business. He knows it. He knows when he walks into the building, he goes classroom to classroom, speaking to the teachers. He understands the process. So I'm praying that business will be his portion.
Mhm.
But he is his mother's child. And so I'm very mischievous and rebellious when I want to be. And I've always been that way. And so he's probably going to be the child that has access to everything and just does what he wants to do. So we don't know.
You talked about you want hoping that business will be his portion. When did you know that business was yours?
So, like I said, I'm Pippi Longstocking, right? I'm so sorry. You there? I'm
Yes.
so sorry about that.
That's why we love live.
Listen, let me just take this off. But I am Pippi Longstocking. Never heard that. I don't remember anybody ever telling me that I couldn't do something, or you're not good enough. That wasn't really my testimony, and I was a writer, and that's probably why, I didn't really, any in that regards. But I will say that I honestly have to say that from a little girl, I kind of knew, I didn't know how to give it a name, or what to call it. I didn't know that it was entrepreneurship, but I kind of knew that I would run my own or do my own thing. That's kind of been my mentality from a little girl. So even in um, even in college a little bit, I sold sneakers. Like, I'm a sneakerhead. I had a cousin that was stationed in China for a while. He's a welder, underwater welder, and he was staying in China in the when the beat towns first came out. You there?
I'm here. Can you
Okay,
see?
yeah. So when the beats headphones,
You're glitching just a
I
little
can
bit.
see you.
I want to try to reestablish the connection because ever since the phone dropped, it's been kind of glitchy in and out. Do you want to?
It's doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Want me to go out and come back in?
Yeah, do that because I want to hear the full version of these stories, and it's too good to miss it in the glitch. So we'll give you a moment.
I'm gonna go out.
Perfect. And then, ladies and gentlemen, while she's going out, we're going to reestablish that connection. But I want you guys to still stay on because she is about to drop some nuggets. She has a conference that is about to come up, and it's going to bless the people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this real quick commercial. And then you guys are going to stay with me. And we'll be right back right after this.
I am pleased to have the opportunity to put this book in your life. I am very, very focused on giving you the tools to reach your full potential. Everything that's in my life has been purposeful. From growing up in foster care since I was 5, being adopted as I was 12. There's just been so many roadblocks that's been placed in my life. And I know you're listening to me, and you may say that I'm going through the same thing. And one thing I can tell you, if you never stop moving, you will always reach your destination. I am so excited about having this opportunity to pour into your life this way. I want to give you the tools that you need to be exactly who you are. You are the next big thing. You need to make sure you get this book in your life. Log on to this link below and get your copy right now.
And we are back, and we are about to be joined once again by Miss Ebony. I'm about to bring her on right now. There we are.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Much better, better.
Okay, I am so sorry. Sorry.
But it felt like it was about to get so good, and I'm like, no, I don't want this glitch to this up. So we were talking. The question was, you want the business portion to be your son's portion, and I was asking, when did you identify it as yours?
Absolutely. And what I was saying was, even from a little girl, and I think that's what I was saying, I didn't really know to give it a name or to call it entrepreneurship, but I did know that I was going to do my own thing. And I think that is just kind of the mentality that I had. My dad is a subcontractor for the state of North Carolina. And so I kind of saw a lot of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial moves with my dad. And so I remember as a little girl, when he would get his paychecks on Friday, he would come and, back then it wasn't necessarily you go to the bank. They would go to the neighborhood corner store and cash their checks. And so he would come and have this wad of money, just kind of put it in my lap. It was never any real talk behind it. It was just kind of something my dad did, but I think that those kind of moments kind of caused me to always, look for ways to make money. You know, it was always, okay, you want this? Then he would always show me different things and how to be able to achieve whatever it was that I wanted, whether it was a bike or whatever, you know. And so I don't know. I think though, from a little girl, I've always kind of known that my path was different from what everything else looked like outside of what my dad was showing me.
And is that what you were looking for when you were finding your helpmeet? Did your helpmeet come in with that same entrepreneurial spirit? Did he come in as a support to you? Did you all meet as a support to each other? How did that relationship forge, and how did it strengthen your entrepreneurial spirit?
Absolutely. So, like I said, my husband and I have been married. It'll be 19 years in June. And so my dad was like, I lived with my mom in Durham, but my dad, every holiday, you know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, you know, whatever it was, my dad was leaving Kinston, North Carolina. He was coming to get his baby girl. I was his only child. And so, my dad was very influential, is what I'm trying to say, in my life. When I began dating, I knew exactly what to look for in a husband. I've never dated an individual that didn't look like he would be successful, or that didn't look like, you know, we would be compatible, even in ministry. You know, so even the gentleman that I dated prior to my husband, you know, we were in college running youth ministries, you know, just all of that. So I definitely knew what to look for in a husband because of my father. My father was a hard worker. There's nothing that, you know, we have this stigma of what men should, you know, what they're supposed to know how to do, you know, those kind of things. Anything pertaining to him fixing something with his hands or just being a provider in general, that was my father. And my husband is exactly the same way. He is a provider. Prior to where we are now, my husband would work 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that I didn't go without, you know, fixing things around the house, building things. That he's in that regard, he is my father. Yeah.
That's beautiful to have, and it's great to have that support system.
Mm-hmm.
When did you and your husband identify that there was a change happening in your life, not just monetarily, but
Mm-hmm.
really saw that the businesses were starting to do what the businesses were supposed to do?
It's funny that you asked that, but the thing is, I don't think we realized what God was doing. I don't think we really understood what was happening. You know, sometimes you just get an unction in your spirit. You just kind of know that change is happening, but you can't really identify with what the change is. And so 2013, I was in grad school getting my master's, and my husband was finishing his welding degree. And so that same cousin that I was speaking of earlier, he was positioning my husband to get a job here in Georgia. He was making those connections. And so the conversation that my husband and I were having was that whenever he finished his welding degree, we were out of there. We were ready to move to Georgia. A lot of my cousins had already started moving here. And so we had visited a few times, and my family, and this is my dad's side, really fun family. We're really crazy, comedic, and all of that stuff. So when we would come to Georgia, it was just fun. So if nothing else, we were like, you know what, we're moving to Georgia. This just seems like the life. But
Okay.
when we got here, we didn't really have a plan. We literally moved from North Carolina with our refund checks from college, just as crazy as we can be. About $6,000. My son was 2 years old at the time, and we just knew that North Carolina was no longer it for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we got here, and my apostle, the late Apostle Brenda J. McLeod, she actually spoke a prophetic word over my life and over my husband's life and my son. And she told us that the Lord said when we got to Georgia, no matter what it looked like, no matter how much the enemy tried to present a drought, that it can't run out. And that was the word of the Lord that she gave us, and she spoke over our lives. I didn't really understand it then, but it was something that as soon as she said it, like hit my spirit, like, oh, wow, it can't run out. So that kind of added to that faith that Pippi already had, you know. So it was like, wait a minute. Oh, I can go to Georgia and the Lord is promising me that things it won't get crazy. It won't look strange. It'll never run out, you know. And so I can honestly say that if no prophetic word that has ever been spoken over my life has ever come to pass, that one did. And ever since then, and when we made that move, it was like everything started to fall in place. It was mind blowing, and it still is, because you know that you're not deserving of what God is doing. Not deserving, just as crazy as I want to be, hot head, you know, all of that good stuff. Don't let the blue shirt fool you. This girl is crazy.
You see
Shout
red
out.
sometimes. You see red.
Yes, but I mean, God was faithful, and he has continued to be, and he has kept his promises.
What was the first business?
The first business was Professional Counseling Center of Atlanta once we moved here. And so that was a community mental health center that we were afforded the opportunity to purchase. It was an already existing business. They were very profitable, had about 48 staff members when we came on board. And I ended up partnering with a 24-year-old Hispanic gentleman. He became my partner for 9 months. After 9 months, I bought him out, and I remain 100% owner ever since. And that was the start of where we are now, because what it did was gave us the financial grace, not just stability, but the financial grace to make different decisions. And I tell people, and I was actually interviewed earlier this week, and I was telling somebody, they asked me what was my most memorable moment, you know, in business. And I had to tell them that it was when I failed. That company that the Lord literally sat in my lap that I didn't deserve, a multi-million-dollar healthcare company, you know, an industry that I wasn't even qualified to be in. I almost sank that company within the first 2 years of ownership.
Wow.
And had to dig myself out of that hole that I created, not one that I couldn't blame it on the enemy. It wasn't a devil. It wasn't an old friend, an old boyfriend. No, this is what I did because I was unlearned. I was untaught. I was haughty. I didn't want to hear anything. I thought I knew it all. I had a point to prove. I was mismanaging money, all of those things, you know, and I almost sank that company. And the Lord gave me favor with the landlord that we were leasing the property from, that the business was in. And I went to him because I got up that one morning and I knew I was at the end of the barrel. And I'm like, wait a minute. He has a vested interest because out of all of the properties, I have the largest space. I was like the largest tenant, you know, leasing from him. And so I go to this gentleman who is not of our color.
Sure,
and
sure.
I say to him, Mr. Such and Such, this is the situation. I need a loan. He ended up allowing me to borrow $70,000.
Wow.
He didn't know me. I didn't know. Let me say this for everybody whose mind is like, well, why would this man give you 70 million? Did you sleep with him? I sure did not. I didn't sleep with the man. You know, he did not know me. And I said that to say it was the favor of God, because God had a plan for me. And then there was that prophecy and that prophetic decree spoken over my life that it can't run out. And once God makes you a promise and you grab a hold to that promise, he keeps his word concerning you.
Yes,
He said, if you make your bed in hell, I'll be there too. And I literally, I mean, king size. I was laying comfortably in hell, getting ready to sabotage everything that the Lord was doing in my life. And that gentleman, and it was another gentleman by the name of Wesley, and I call him West Billions. He and his wife at the time, I want to say it was either 25,000 or 40,000 that they lent us. Both of these loans, you're talking about $100,000 to save our business. Neither one of them charged us interest.
Wow. And just as a reminder that JVN Productions and iDreamMedia does accept interest-free loans. Back to the interview. So tell me then, because, and I'm gonna listen. We're going to get to the event coming up, but this is such a great story, and I really want people to kind of hear this testimony of you to help them identify where you were and how you got to where you are now, and some of those steps in between. That didn't put a strain on your relationship with your husband, the fact that the businesses was failing, and I know that you're going through stress. I'm sure he was going through stress with that as well.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say that it really put a strain on our relationship. I think that we were at a point where we knew that we didn't really have anybody to blame. And the only way that I couldn't point a finger at him, because what had happened was, once we got in and started overseeing and managing the business and all that stuff, remember, he was a welder. He was making great money as a welder. I pulled him off of his job because I knew that him working for somebody else, I was over it. And I didn't want that for him anymore. I wanted him to be able to experience a different kind of life. And I knew that we were in that vein of being able to experience that life that I saw. But I also knew that we had to pull out of it and pull ourselves out of the chaos and the commotion and the debt that we had created. So it didn't really put a strain on us. It actually probably drew us closer together because we were all we had in those moments. We had to rebuild the foundation, and thanks be unto God, literally, that we were able to do that. And once we did, once I really learned that business, I went and created 4 more. And so we went from Professional Counseling Center of Atlanta to I Listen Empowerment Center, which was a name that I dreamed in the midst of everything that was going on. And the Lord, I saw it. It was a car and some kids. You know how you have like the little window paint? Yeah. The kids wrote I Listen Empowerment Center on the window. And I woke up that next morning. I told them about it, so I'm going to change the name. And when I changed the name, I started 4 locations. So we had one in Monroe. We had one in Atlanta off of Atlanta Industrial. We had one in Snellville and one out in Jonesboro. Operated those until 2019. And then I self-brokered the sale of my 4 mental health clinics to the head psychiatrist over at Eastside Medical Center. And it was in that moment that I knew that the Lord had anointed me for business. Because if you can walk in, first of all, you almost sank a company, you rebuild what you have, then you expand in 4 different directions with 4 different sets of staff, and it's running fine, and you're doing what you're supposed to do. And then you build it back to a place of profitability to where a psychiatrist is interested in what you've built. You sell those 4 locations to this psychiatrist. And then I started to think inheritance, legacy. That's at that point I got very serious about business. And I knew that my mindset would have to shift. I knew that I would lose some individuals. They were not going to understand why I was a stickler for certain things. Why, if I put a contract in place, I am going to hold you to every word in the contract, all of that. And I became that person. And I lost a lot of relationships behind it. I lost some friends because I had hired a few friends, and they thought that because we were friends, you could come in and do other work that didn't pertain to my business, and I fired them.
You do, and because of your business,
exactly. And it wasn't that I was, of course they wanted to paint a picture that, oh, you think you better. It wasn't that I thought I was better. I wanted better. I was after better. I was after greater. And I knew that if that was your mindset, even the things that I've learned, you wouldn't even have the capacity to contain it if I tried to teach it to you. Because in their mind, I'm just little old whomever. But I knew what God was doing. I knew what he was doing.
And he has been doing some amazing things with you, through you, for the community. You have an event coming up, and I know people are like, it took 30 minutes for JeVaughn to get to this event. But it's important for people to know where you came from so they can understand how you were able to attain this level of success to be able to present what you're about to present to the people. Please tell us about this amazing opportunity that you have coming for people.
Absolutely. So on this upcoming Saturday, January 28th, I will, myself and my husband, and Icro Kingdom Music, which is a record label that we just started, we will be presenting to the community the first edition of the Brunch of Legends. And we will be honoring Dr. Dorinda Clark Cole, Lisa Page Brooks, Ernest Pugh, and Vicky Winans. And in order to pay tribute and homage to those amazing, iconic legends in the gospel industry, we brought in Yana Crawley, Lawrence Flowers, who else? Josiah Martin, Melvin Crispell, Tasha Page Lockhart. Let's see, who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing somebody. Just a plethora of great millennial legends, as I call them, to honor and pay tribute to these great iconic men and women in the gospel industry. And my reasoning for going this route with it was because we put out new music under our label that we just created. We debuted our first song on October 24th. It Can't Run Out, which is available on all digital media outlets. And also, and then on December 26th, we debuted Power of the Seed. And so this is actually our EP release where we'll be showcasing our music as Icro Kingdom Music. And in order to get our music in front of the right individuals, I just paired it with the legacies of these great gospel iconic legends. And so there you have it. Head on over to Brunch of Legends .eventbrite.com to get your tickets, or you can go to itcan'trunout.com and click on that Legends tab and grab your tickets there.
Now, I saw a Brunch of Legends, and then I went through, I've got like 6 email accounts. I went through all 6 email accounts. I went through all spams and didn't see my invitation. Now, here's where I'm going with this. I am what they call legend in the making, not fully developed, but on the way. And
so you are a legend.
So will there be a Legends in Podcasting in the Making brunch coming up anytime soon that I may be a part of?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there are several big things that are happening and that are in the works. And after the Brunch of Legends, I'll be able to talk more about it. But you know what? It's not even a legend in the making type situation. I think that you have done a phenomenal job at building your platform. And this is not an in the making. You're already there. You're already there. And we have to look, there are no small wins. We have to celebrate every win like it's the biggest one in the world, because that could be the main one that catapults your life to the next level. So you're not a legend in the making. The whole world knows you. You're just being modest.
So does this mean that I may be able to come on and, I don't know, join the record label in a singing capacity? Now, I know you're wondering, you're saying, JeVaughn, can you even sing? The answer is no. The answer is no. But there is there's a joy, right, on the inside that people might be able to recognize. You know what? We'll talk about that off camera. So tell me then, you went from mental health and to help people to now you're into music. has that music been a part of you for a while? Has that been something that you've always been wanting to get out, that music, that love of music?
So remember how you said you can't sing?
At all?
So now I can sing a little bit, but I will not. It is just, I actually would like to be a rapper. I want my rap name to be 16 Bracelets.
Let's go,
So
16 bracelets.
yeah, so but music is actually just a part of who I am by bloodline. So my dad is an actual, he's a recording artist. My grandmother was a pianist for many, many years prior to the pandemic. She played for about 5 or 6 different churches. I have several cousins that are in the industry. I had a cousin that passed that he was a part of Fred Hammond's band. And, so music is just, it flows. And then my mom, I lost my mom October 2021, but my mom was a songbird. And so music is there. The real reasoning behind me diving into music was not because it was like a huge passion of mine, actually. It's because my son, Cameron, the one that I can't get to play basketball, that is only interested in dinosaurs, he has an amazing talent. He has that singing voice from my dad and from my mom. And so, like I said, once I started to really hone in on legacy and inheritance for him, I want to make sure that he doesn't have an excuse as to what he's able to accomplish in life. So if he says to me, Mommy, I want to be a singer, at which he has stated, then I'm going to create every avenue that I think possible to get him in front of the right people. When we debuted It Can't Run Out, we had 4 featured artists on that project. And one of the featured artists is not going to be able to attend the Brunch of Legends. And so as opposed to going and showcasing someone else's talent, I hired him a vocal coach and, some other things. And we've been preparing him. So the first singing voice on this show is going to be my 11-year-old son, Cameron. And I'm excited about it. And that's out of every moment that could happen this weekend, that'll be the proudest moment probably of my life. I cannot wait to hear him.
The introduction of the next legend. I love it.
Yeah.
For those who are new, this is Je Vaughn Show featuring 16 Bracelets. And so as we get out of here, I want to let people know again where they can go to get in touch with you, where they can go to get tickets, and where they can go, I guess, if they are in need of services that you offer.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I definitely want to end with, I am a very, very accessible person. A lot of times when I do interviews and things like that, people, women especially, are very intrigued by how in the world did she do it? I want to learn from her. And so a lot of people have you got to go through a million programs. You got to pay for this course and this class. I don't really operate like that. And I get fussed at a lot by my team and by my best friend and say, hey, no, you can't do that. But that's just who I am. And I believe that we get a lot further in life if we share the information and the resources that we have to help somebody else grow what you've already been graced to do. And so with that being said, on social media, you can find me on Facebook as Ebony O, and that's Ebony OH. On Instagram, the Ebony O. You can run over to my website, ebonyo.com. But there's a phone number that you can reach me directly 9 times out of 10. Outside of when we're having events and things like that, when another team member might answer, I answer that line, and that number is 404-902-2890. And if you ever have business questions, or you having a day as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you need that pep talk to keep going. You need that push to just keep going. I'm available. And I don't just say that. 9 times out of 10, most people will tell you, I answer my phone. I answer my phone. I want to be accessible, to the people that help push me to get to where I'm trying to get to.
That's a beautiful thing. And as someone who just recently quit their full-time job to do this full-time and is
Oh, I love it.
trying to grow, because I said, I'm like you, I can't work for somebody else when I know I have this talent, when I know that there's something greater for me. I will be using that phone number, 404-902-2880,
Absolutely.
because, the struggle is real. And when you don't, I do, and I'm proud that I have a great team, but there are the resources. So I look forward to tapping into someone who started from the ground, has risen to a place to where now they are a legend, honoring other legends and being an inspiration for the upcoming legends, those grooming to be legends. I appreciate you, Ebony O.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you coming on the show to advertise the event. I look forward
Anytime.
of that event. I look forward to taking Marquise's place and hosting the next event.
Oh, God, you got to get me in trouble. Oh, Lord.
I already told him. I said, I hope your plane gets delayed. And they have
Lord.
But I will be there in attendance. I'm looking forward to meeting you face
Yes.
and this is going to be amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes,
make sure that you go and get your tickets. Make sure you reach out. She has let it be known she is there for you.
Yes, I am. And if you come to the event, if for those of you that will purchase your tickets, I pray that everybody watching will be there. Get your tickets. Also, if you're going and you're going to run over to Eventbrite, there is a promo code that you can put in, which is ROSES, and ROSES, ROSES, and that'll give you a discount on that ticketed price. The brunch is very affordable. Your brunch / dinner is included in that ticket price. If you get VIP, you'll be up close and personal. We're not just honoring them; they will be in the building. Dr. Dorinda Clark Cole, Vicki Winans, Lisa Page, Ernest Pugh, and so many others that have already said, "Hey, we're going to be there." You will be able to be up close and personal with those individuals. Try to get there, between that 2:00 and 3:00 hour for red carpet. You don't want to miss them on red carpet as well. So, but definitely once you get there, please find me. Make sure that we get pictures together. And listen, although it's an event, if you need me, I'm there.
Fantastic. And in case one of the people that are honoring the legends, in case one of them is unable to make it, I want to leave you with this real quick. Count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that will never...
No, please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
Now, I heard Melissa when I came on, and she's awesome. So I don't know about what you're giving me now, JeVaughn. But Melissa sounds like she's safe.
Now, JeVaughn, you have heard the woman of God, okay? The answer is no, and don't ask her no more. Now.
Cece said...
You have to do better. You got to.
Cece said no, but I hear in my spirit that Ebony might say maybe.
Which spirit? The left side, the right?
What I hear you saying is you need to think about it. That's fine. That's fair. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ebony O, make sure you go Living Legends, the brunch in Atlanta. Everybody's there. I'm going to be there. She's going to be there. You need to be there. Get your tickets today. Eventbrite, use the code ROSES. It's right there. She's giving you a discount. She doesn't need to give you a discount. You should pay full price. If you don't need to use ROSES, don't use ROSES. But you heard it from DJ 16 Bracelets herself. She's giving you the discount. So just go get to the brunch. Get your tickets today. Ebony O, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anytime. I would love to come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for today. Make sure you guys continue to go and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Everything is at Je Vaughn Show. So go follow me, go follow Ebony O. And until next time, take care of yourselves and continue to love each other. God bless you.